Ketil, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we already know that your life is okay, but can you tell us a bit more about what you've been doing recently?
Oh, well, I was a participant for the fourth time in the Eurovision Song Contest, the Norwegian edition. Well, I didn't make it. I didn't have a passport, a golden ticket to start with. So I'm back with my students. The hard thing was to be secretive about me joining the Melodi Grand Prix to my students. But they went crazy when I came back now. I recorded the songs with my students 12, 13 years old. So I think they'll be on television now this weekend. So no, it's a good time. My life is okay.
And they will be voting for you for the wild card.
Yes, hopefully they will. They had a bit of a problem with the voting system went down in the northern part of Norway, so they had the same problem that they had last year. So there was a problem with the voting, and I'm not the youngest one, so my audience is mature people, and many of these people they find it hard to establish a profile and a username, a password,
Yeah.
to be able to vote. This has been the same problem in Sweden. So the older or the experienced artists are kicked out of the show because remember last time I won the Eurovision. I won the Eurovision Song Contest twice back in '86 and in 1990, and we didn't have internet before 1994. So the young kids have an advantage on us because they work on social media and they're used to this. With me, for instance, I'm quite new to Instagram. I had to have a grand. I had to have some help
Yeah.
to establish followers on the Insta.
So you, as you also mentioned, you were last in Melodi Grand Prix in 1990. What made you submit My Life is Okay now?
I think that the pandemic situation all over the world is, we're all lots of composers, lyricists, and artists all over the world. We don't get to meet our audience. So what do you want to do? So if there's a chance that you can meet them via the broadcasting company, it's fantastic. So that's why, for instance, in Norway, you have a heavy metal band, you have country bands, you have rappers, you have pop rock musicians. Everyone wants to be in it because this is the only way to meet our audience. And I originally started writing the song at the beginning of the year, thinking about another artist. But as we went along, my voice sounded well with the song. And my co-producer said, I think you should do it yourself. And the situation is different from when you were in the competition back in 1990. And it sure is. I could be the father of half of them.
Speaking of the other you're competing with, many of them grew up listening to your music. How does that feel to you?
I had a bit of a problem being named the legend when I entered. I thought you had to be about 80 years to be a legend, So they were. My name was out the window. So, oh, he's the legend. Come on, legend. Feels strange, but good fun too. It's important to meet these new artists and these new songwriters. There's still something to learn about publishing, about how they work in studio. I have my own studio and my own record label, but at the age of 64, I can still learn things from these young artists and these young producers. They're very capable people. The only thing that's quite different from way back then is that there's no band. I still miss the band, and these young artists many of them are good dancers, and most of the vocals are on computer tracks. So I wasn't expecting that. But so at least we have to sing, I thought. But the situation is quite another.
Is that the biggest difference to if we look back at when you first took part, for example, in '83 with Summer Chameur?
Yeah, the band. I still miss playing with the whole band, and I still miss having the audience in front of me. I think the band and the audience is what I miss. Now that you go on stage, in fact, your feet is on top of a big computer. So you're standing on a big computer, and there's no audience, and we have to sit back in the green room. There has to be how much is 2 meters between us all, so we don't get to hug, and we don't get to kiss, we don't get to cheer and be, you know, it's a quite static, unusual, and I think we have these mouth covers, and I think I was using for the recording during when we recorded. I think I used 6 of them. Taking them off when I went on stage and back on, and where's the other one? No, you've been using that. Blah, 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 blah. So I didn't like that too much. I still miss the audience, but hopefully we'll get through this and play festivals by August, September, perhaps. I don't know. We lost hundreds and thousands of krona during 2020, and we all want to be back, not only making money, but meeting the audience and playing in front of the audience. I have my band, Funky Ducks, and I have about 120 songs that I've recorded, and I want to be out there with the audience. And I always think about when I write songs, don't bore us, get to the chorus, make a chorus that people won't forget. And I did that this time too. They won't forget that.
It's definitely easy to remember.
Yeah. Oh.
If we look at your previous Eurovision participations with Romeo and Brandenburger Tor, what's your greatest memories from those years?
Oh, 1986 was quite a roller coaster because we had Bobby Sox had won the competition the year before in '85, and I was in '86 and winning the national edition in Stavanger. We went to Bergen, and Norway went apeshit. I mean, the Eurovision Song Contest had more attention than the Chernobyl accident and Aha's #1 hit in the States. That's how crazy that was in '86. So in 1990, they arranged the song contest in a restaurant downtown in Oslo, and the jury delivered their votes between the main dish and the dessert. And the media was mean to us. And when they started touring with the song contest all over Norway, the attention around the competition and the artist became a positive one, because the media couldn't say bad things, write bad things about the artist, because then you lose the audience, and the audience decides. And the Eurovision song, the local Eurovision Song Contest, that is the Melodi Grand Prix, the standard was risen to to where it is today. So it's very popular. I think about 1.8 million Norwegians are watching the show now.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So it's also a big platform. And as you say, it's the only way to get out with your music now.
It's the only way to get out, to have people listen to my music. I have to be out there, and I already see from the streaming and the people I meet and booking agencies. Oh, you're on again. I'm on again. I've been playing 50, 60 concerts every year since the last time I saw you. So don't write another article saying where did he go? Where did we? What happened to him? Oh, I'm still here, and I'm kicking, and I'm still writing good songs, I think. And the difference. This song, I usually play lots of guitars. If you heard some of my songs, there are lots of guitars, and I'm a guitarist, and my co-producer is also a very able guitarist, and we play lots of guitars. And we said, let's do this song. Let's take away all the guitars, and we send the song to Kåre Kolve. Kåre Kolve is a saxophone player. He used to play with Mezzo Forte, like 4 years with Mezzo Forte. Now he plays in a Norwegian band called Lava. Yeah, very, very, very fine band. They used to play with Randy Crawford, and I told him, you can do whatever you do. Do whatever you do. We're taking away the guitars, and I want you to carry this tune using your saxophones. And I really want something Swedish dance band saxophones, and perhaps slash New Orleans kind of. And when they came back, a stereo track came from him. I said, those saxophones are going to carry this song. It's going to, and we lowered the tempo. So the tempo is not like a disco beat of 120 beats per minute. We lowered it to 116. So those two things are quite different from what I've done before. And like the boss, the chief of the Melodi Grand Prix in Norway, Mr. Steve Carson, he said, I wasn't expecting that from you. So do you like it? Yes, we love it. We're 12 people here. And none of us was expecting that from you, and we really want you to be in it. So
they should just have put you in a different heat.
They
should have put you in the third or the fourth heat.
Yeah, I don't know why they put me in this heat with the young kids.
I think in the third heat you would have won it.
Yeah, I'm not using a lot of. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that, or like some of the media people said, aren't you down? Oh, how do you feel now? This went shit, and no, it's okay. And, my life is really okay. And being able to be on, I've been on television with my song. I released a song in January last year. It was called Bli Här, Stay Here. It's a very good song, very good lyrics, and nothing happened to that song, nothing. And now I have. The broadcasting company helps me rise from the ashes with all my songs, also the ones from the year before.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. You don't have to be 15 years or 20 years to win the Eurovision contest. You should know that. I'd still love that song from the Olsen Brothers, "Fly on the Wings of Love." And they were, do you remember? They were also the first artists ever to be to use autotune.
Yeah.
Which was a cool effect. Everybody wanted to use that effect. Now no, everyone uses this. No, it's not a new thing anymore.
Yeah, but everyone was also talking about that at that point.
Yeah. I think there was some problem because I think some of the other artists or other producers said that, oh, no, this is not legal. No, they can't be legal. Oh, these old farts get to use this modern technology. And the first artist that ever heard that effect be used was Cher, wasn't it? Cher, yeah. The American artist.
Yeah.
And then Olsen Brothers. Yes. But I think they were younger than me. How old were the Olsen Brothers when they participated and won the Euros? Mid-50s or something?
Yeah, because they started their career in the early 70s.
Yeah. Early 70s. I started off in 77.
As the old Sue song said, evig ung, evig pen.
Evig ung, evig pen. Always young and beautiful.
Yeah.
I think I have an English version of that. So
I only know the Norwegian.
Yeah, I think it's there somewhere. I think it's on one of the CDs. I think, yes. always young and beautiful. Did you really think that life would stop at 17? Yeah, I think the lyrics are okay. And I seem to write good English lyrics too. I also wrote the song for the Arctic race, you know, the bicycle race.
Yeah,
You ever get to hear that song called Forza Arctic Race? That's
I'll need to check that up.
oh, you need to check that out. So during the last few years now, I think I have the Forza Arctic Race, and there's also a single called "I'm Over You." I'm over you, baby. I'm over you. More 70-ish rock and roll thing. And my next song might be a blues song with lots of guitars. Who knows? And we were thinking about, for instance, now that My Life Is Okay is a very UK, no, Euro version. I could make a US version, lower the saxophones and adding guitars again. That would make it a US version. Yes. It's just a matter of what kind of instrument you use, and then you put in another genre. You remember Shania Twain? She made an album, red and blue album. I think there were the same songs on both albums. But one of the albums was with a rock band, and the other was with the mandolins and violins and a country version. But it's the same vocals, same songs.
And you like to do that kind of experimenting with instruments too?
Yeah, why not? Because I have my own studio, I can do whatever I don't have to ask a manager, a label manager, or anyone. I can do that. That's luxury. My studio is my luxury. I can do whatever I want, and I can release whatever I want. I'm not asking a label manager. I'm not asking my audience. I'm not asking anyone. I do what pleases me, and in the long run, I have quite a solid library consisting of both English and Norwegian lyrics and songs from blues songs to pop songs to rock songs to country-like songs. I've done all these different genres since I started back in '77, and I think it's healthy, not getting stuck into one kind of music. I think it's the challenge is if you can add violin here, can I use an accordion, can I have acoustic instruments, can I have, and also the way we record today. For instance, if I want pedal steel, then there's the guy down in Trondheim, he plays pedal steel, so he can send me to my studio. And I had a saxophonist. You remember back in 1990 there was a band called Stjörnin from Iceland.
Yeah.
And it was a good friend of mine, this Einar Bragi Brakason. He plays the saxophone. So he does sax. He died a couple of years ago from a heart attack, unfortunately. But he used to be he used to play saxophones on Iceland and then send it to Norway on Dropbox, and then I just copied and pasted it into my system. And then I have a violin player down in Oslo, and you can have people sitting or playing anywhere on this planet, contributing to your album. You don't have to bring them to a certain studio in the Caribbean or so.
Yeah, well, that's the advantage of the new technology we have now.
That's the advantage of the technology. So of course it's a good thing to have musicians around you, but it's quite expensive, and like these days, many of these young people, they have a producer but the producer do the drums and the bass and the keyboards, and you don't have, so the drummers are out the window. They're out of a job because they make, you have drums on your computer, you have loops on your computer, and you have bass sounds. Everything's what's it called, pre-recorded. So there are less people on an album than before. And I was thinking about that when it came to, you know, My Life Is Okay. I thought that there were too many of my voices. I do the chorus. I do the backup vocals myself. I think I love doing backup vocals. And I was talking to Svein Dag Hauge, my co-producer, and I said, we really need to have something else. It's too much of me. Yeah. So that's when Karianne Kjærnes, she used to sing with on Fairy Tale with Alexander Rybak, and she did extra voices. So that's how we did it. So with the extra voices from a girl and the saxophones from Kåre Kolve. And so this makes this song different from many of the other songs that I've been sitting in studio doing everything myself.
When you write a song, do you then just start with sitting down with you and guitar, and then the rest comes?
I'm a bit the other way around. I'm a kind of guy who writes some good lyrics, and then I start with it, then I add the song. I think I have that from being a writer all through the years, and my mother was a writer too. She released, you know, poems and short stories, 5, 6 books. We went to school together, my mother and myself.
So that's where you have it from.
Yeah, we went in the, what's it called, the gymnasium. So we were yeah, the same.
She must have been late, or you must have been a very smart kid.
No, don't think I was that smart, but you know, we had a very special relation. I think we went to university together. We read philosophy in the same class, and then she started writing books, and I started recording albums. So please, well, I have something from her, I think. Yeah, there it is.
Wonderful cover.
Yeah, it's a wonderful cover, isn't it?
Yes.
It's my bass player made the cover, and like I told you, I have my own studio. I also have my own. I can manufacture my own records too.
Who came up with the pink gloves?
I came up with the this OK sign, and I said we really need glam here, and I'm going pink. And my bass player came back with this idea and said, "It's fantastic. Let's go." No pictures of me on the front cover. I was thinking, it would have been fantastic if we had people in the audience. I would have manufactured from China like 300 pairs of gloves, and you had like the audience, okay. So every time then okay, well, the audience go, okay, my life is okay.
Yeah, that could have looked awesome.
Yeah, you remember the wall behind me, the TV wall?
Yeah, with the video shown.
Yeah, I think they spent 4 days putting that together, and they were like, so the idea was, if you've seen the movie, every Christmas in Norway they're showing this movie called Love Actually, and by the end you have people, you know, hugging. You got 2, 4, 8. 16, 32, 64, more. So that was the original idea. And I said, let's use people of different colors, of different religions, and different sexual orientation, different people with handicaps, old people, young people, any kind of people.
Then you also matches the theme of the song.
Yes. That was the idea. You know who had the idea first? The idea came from Mr. Simen Sand. And Simen Sand was the same choreography that I used in '86.
Yeah, Romeo.
So he did the choreography for the girls too. And I said, that's the only thing. I said, I really want Simen to be with me. And yeah, well, we have our own choreography. No, but this is, if I'm participating, Simen's back. And Simen.
And then we had the little steps forward.
Yeah, I said, can we really do that? First time when I did it on the rehearsals, there was the old tech, you know, the text behind the technology And the computer guys in the back room, I could hear them. Oh, oh yeah, do it. Why not? Why not? So, and Simon said, okay. Well, I said at first he said, no, we won't use that. But when he heard I did that on the rehearsal, I said, just do it.
Well, it's actually nice to get a little flashback to Romeo.
Yeah, yeah. It's a strong. It's being on that show puts you in history in a strange way. It does, really does. It helps you. I always said that. I said that to Daniel. He was very, 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 very nervous. So I was kind of being a daddy for him. I told him, this is happening now. This is happening. Why do I have to be so, this, how you have the dress rehearsal, and we can just take it easy on the dress. No, don't take it easy on the dress rehearsal. The dress rehearsal is very, very, very important. Why then? Yes, because when the show goes on, the dress rehearsal is put straight behind it on videotape. So if something wrong happens while on the original show, it cuts to the dress rehearsal. So be very precise about the dress rehearsal too. Don't take that easy. I didn't know that, of course.
If we look back to 1990 with Brandenburger Tor, what happened at the Eurovision Song Contest?
I don't know. Just imagine if I'd written the Brandenburger Tor now, it would have been banned from the competition, like the song from Georgia a couple of years ago, or Putin.
Yeah.
Oh, Putin. Yeah. So the political statements are not allowed anymore. And I remember that I wanted to leave the stage and go out in the audience like I did in Norway, but I was taken back on stage. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And look who did that on the original Eurovision Song Contest. I think this Italian guy Toto Cotogna. He went down from stage and out in the audience and all the way up there. Oh, that irritated me because I couldn't do that. I wasn't allowed to do that, but he did it. Yeah, it was a good song. Brandenburger Tor was a good song too.
It deserved so much more.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a part of my. If I put together all my 4 songs in the Eurovision Song Contest and all the songs that I had great hits with the band Zoo that I played with in the 70s and the 80s, I have songs like Vent ikke lag på, like Evig ung, like Du ikke her. And if some of the new songs that I have the radio has been playing, then I have at least a whole hour on stage where the audience will be able to sing all the refrains, and that's important. That's so important. I was a great fan of Thomas Ledin in Sweden, and Thomas is a guy like that. He can spend an hour on stage and having the audience sing all his chorus lines, all his refrains. I really love that guy. Oh, he's got good songs.
And he was at Eurovision in 1980. That was way before you.
That was way before me. I know. I tried to have him produce an album that I did in 2011, and we did. But it stopped being a producer. He said, because it always ends up costing hundreds and thousands. So, so he stopped. I think the last album he did was with Magnus Ugla. And then his keyboard player took over the producer. So we were thinking about him then too. But I've always been a big fan of Thomas. I was a big ABBA fan too. Like I was a big Free fan and a Leonard Skinner fan. So I got one foot in pop music and the other one in Southern rock blues. And why not? That's That's what I do on stage too. I do my blues songs and I do my pop songs, and the audience accepts it. This is Ketil. This is what you get.
Well, that is also the important thing. Be true to yourself.
Yes.
I have a little box here, and in that there is 10 cards. I would like you to pick 3 of them, and then there's a sentence on it which you should finish.
Let's take number 2 from that side. Number 2 from that side.
This one.
This one. And then number 3 from that side. The other side. The other side. And then on top. The one on top. So that should give us a variety of.
Yeah. So there's a sentence here. A Eurovision song I remember well is
a song called Gente di Mare by Umberto Tozzi and Raf. It's a big favorite of mine from '87.
And the most powerful person I know is
the most powerful person I know. It's my wife. Definitely my wife. She's yeah. That's how it is.
So it's her keeping you on top.
Yes, she's my favorite person in the world. She is. I wouldn't be where I am without her, you know. And she manages to do all things at the same time. I can't do that.
Okay, last one. My best musical memory is.
Oh, there are so many. There are so many. Musical memory. I think, well, the strongest memory must be everything that happened around Romeo in Stavanger and Bergen in 1986. It stands out. It will be forever in my ears and my eyes and my dreams and my head. Everything. It made me a solo artist, and it made life easier for me to be a musician and a composer. I think that's the answer.
Yeah. So, Ketil, tusind tak.
Very welcome.
So
nice to talk to you.
So I would like to wish you the very best of luck in the future competition. We cross our fingers for a wild card.
Thank you very much. Bye. Cheers.